Hi, I'm Kathy Mills from Short Film Edits, and I'm here with Erik Fellows for an interview today. How are you?
Good. How are you? How you
I'm
doing?
good, thank you. Could we start this with you telling us a little bit about you?
A little bit about me. Okay. Well, obviously, my name is Erik Fellows. My middle name is John. For the people that do not know that, um, I I grew up on the East Coast. I'm from Maryland, right outside DC. I only child, half Italian, so I grew up very Italian.
Hmm.
On my mom's side, the other half is Swedish and English, but I grew up very much Italian, like Italian boy. Um, I used to play basketball. I was going to play professional basketball in Italy at a high school, but I got injured. So that kind of took me the direction I'm in, and I actually moved to New York and started modeling. And I guess I kind of got in studying acting, and that's kind of what led me here. I moved to Los Angeles, and I've been in LA. I live in Palm Springs now, but I've been in LA 16 years. I wish 26 years.
Oh,
So a
yeah.
long time. I'm married. I got
Yeah,
two puppies, and yeah, that's me.
yeah, that's
Yeah,
amazing.
that's
That's
that's that's a
amazing.
quick that's a quick two of who I am. There's a lot more. Yes.
I'm sure. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so you've worked across a wide range of productions. How does your acting process shift between those formats?
How does it shift?
Hmm.
Well, it also you mean just in the vertical space? Or are you talking about like actual? Just doesn't matter what.
Everything. So you've done
Oh,
lots and lots
that
of like
yeah.
productions. Yeah.
I've done uh, and I've kind of worked pretty like diverse wise. I've worked in lots of different genres.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think I take on each character, each project, with a different sort of perspective, depending on what they're asking of me or what the character is asking of me. I kind of just shift into it as I feel it as I'm going. Really, I don't judge it too much. I'm not like a method actor who has to go like live in a box to like process. If I had to play a homeless person on the street, like there's things about life and experiences and just knowledge in general and common sense that you can take from it. And if you are in this business or an artist in general, and easier to figure things out, some people like to go and take a rocket to space to be an astronaut. I wouldn't. I mean, maybe I would have to do that in order to like get the sense of being an astronaut, but I think I would figure it out just by knowledge of particularly what an astronaut does.
Hmm.
So I don't know. I don't really judge. As times went on, I think I see it a little differently than I did when I was younger. I think I used to question a lot more. I was a little bit more internal and worried about like the choices I should make, or if it's the right choice, or am I doing well? Like, I don't think at this point, after all these years, I think I don't. I just go in and try to have fun as much as I can. I guess, especially in this new space, the vertical space is absolutely insane. Uh, it took me a minute to realize, coming from the world I was in, and a lot of these actors that have switched, or not switched over, but kind of transitioned over during this weird time in film and TV, um, that it's full on satire on top of itself, even with the dramatics. So, I was on a soap for years. I was on Days of Our Lives. So going into that is its own sort of entity from TV and film, like prime time or film anyway. So there's a transitional point there too, but you have to be very careful how you don't allow yourself to get pigeonholed too much in that sort of like genre
Hmm.
style, I would say, because there is a style to it. There's a
Yeah.
method to doing to performing this way. Like you can't just go in and think that you can do it. To do it and play it up to the satire that is presented for verticals, you have to be completely free to have fun with it, to be authentic with it. Because if you question why, it'll fall apart. So
Yeah.
I don't have a particular thought process that goes into it. I kind of just take in whatever the character is and whatever I discuss with the director, the writer, co-stars and stuff to kind of feel it out. And as time kind of shifts into the scenes and stuff, you kind of just got to get the flow of it. There's some characters I play that are a little particular that I've kind of like researched some stuff. When you're killing people and doing awful things, you kind of want to get in the mind of someone that maybe has done these things in real life, and kind of see like why there's empathy for them, or why they still are charismatic enough for people to still, I don't know, look up to them in weird ways.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I've done stuff like that, but I don't try to judge them too much. So I can't really answer how I prepare for it or how I jump into those characters, because I won't know until it's closer to the time of when I'm already starting to do it. Then I kind of grasp the hold of why I'm doing what I'm doing.
Yeah, you get the
Yeah,
feeling
does that
for
make
it
sense to
once you're
you?
there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I
I
don't
get
try to
that.
prejudge it. I don't try to prejudge it.
Yeah.
So that's my dog.
That's okay. All right. You spend a lot of time in the Bay. How did you sustain emotional continuity across episodic storytelling?
Well, the Bay kind of was different because a lot of us that crossed over to the Bay, it was when they were first started doing short formatted series for daytime. It kind of transitioned to the internet. So it was a lot of us came off of soaps. So that whole show is kind of surrounded around soap stars or, legendary soap stars. In later seasons, they would start to cross over even some movie stars from the past of, come on our show and stuff like that, or my used to be show. I don't know, my character changed drastically. I mean, from the first season when when we shot a pilot for it, after it was short format, then went to, long format for Amazon Prime. My character actually was this club promoter, kind of like arrogant, wealthy guy that was bisexual. And it was the first time I'd ever played, that kind of character. So that was an interesting thing to be like, oh, by the way, you have a boyfriend and a girlfriend. And you're like a club promoter who's arrogant and gets whatever he wants. And then he ODs on drugs and it was this whole thing. And then it transitioned. Well, actually, take that back. When it was a short format series, I played the younger version of a main character initially. And as it went into the show, they actually changed my character to another character who my father's Ron Moss from Bold and Beautiful. He ended up being my brother was Brandon Beamer. So like they ended up changing my character to another character who's a nemesis to the character I used to play. It's very interesting. So that was interesting. Again, it was a digital soap, so I was used to that world, but we were shooting more, not in studio stuff, more like locational stuff. So it was kind of like a teeter between like a Melrose Place mixed in with like Santa Barbara sort of feel from back in the day. That's how they tried to explain the show itself. I don't know. My character went through a liver transplant. One of the main characters had to die, and I got her liver, and that was my girlfriend on the show's sister. This whole it's very dramatic, dramatic. I don't know how I transitioned, to be honest with you. It was a very by the way, you're playing this character now, and this is what you're gonna do, and I was like, oh, it gave me more to do, for sure. It was interesting. Yeah. It was interesting. Yeah, it's still on that show. It's still on.
Oh, that's cool. I've got to look it up. I've got to dive into that one. I think it would be good to watch fully. So
yeah, no, there's some interesting characters in that for sure.
Yeah, that's if I can watch it. I know a lot of things that I can't watch in Australia that's made over there.
Oh, that's right. So. You might be able to get it. It's on Prime. It was on Hulu for Peacock for a while. I don't know if you guys get Peacock in Australia. I have no idea. Tubi.
No. Tubi? Yeah.
Tubi might still be on Tubi. I'm not sure. I left a couple years ago, so I'm not sure what they're doing.
I'll look it up.
Yeah, check it out.
Yeah. Okay. You've got multiple projects in development and post-production. How do you go about juggling different characters at once?
I mean, it's kind of like the same answer. I don't really judge them at all. So I'm like trying not to think about, like, if I've played two characters actually before in one day. Like I literally like had to go to one project to play that character. I guess the only answer to this, you either just do it.
Yeah.
There's no other way to go about it. It's either you do it or you don't do it. Yeah. So you gotta you can't think too much about why I'm about to do this. I'm like, I can't can I remember how to be like that? You kind of have to just like do it. And sometimes it takes a moment. Just like there's been times that like you'll be in the middle of shooting a show after like the 5th day and it's hour 12 and you've been like solid the whole time, right? Your brain will you'll get tired and you'll just go into like a really lazy moment where you're like, the director's like, I didn't believe anything you just said. And then you're like, oh my God, you're right. And then I realize I'm like, holy shit, wait a second. And I'm like, dude, I got you. Get back. And I'm like, how was it? He goes, bro, there you go. Let's move on. And it's weird because you just get lazy. You'll forget in life, we'll just all of a sudden like don't want to talk so much, or we'd be like, I don't know, you just don't want to do it at that moment.
Yeah.
So so to answer that question, there's sometimes you can turn it on, but you have to like think about it for a second. You might just be tired, or you're just like over it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, I think for me, I just do it. There's no other choice. I'm gonna go in and do the best job I can. So I don't want to suck. So I have to just do it.
Yeah.
No choice.
Yeah, no, I get that. Yeah, you just got to, just do it. Yeah.
You gotta do it.
Yeah. Okay. Well, with a long running role, how do you keep the performance feeling fresh?
I think, well, it really just depends. You got to find different ways, because now if you're playing the same character for something for, let's just say, 3 seasons, right? And the audience, everyone that's watching that character is used to that character being a certain way. You know what I mean? You have to find little nuances in the performance or in yourself to bring out. And sometimes you have to try something a little new without being too drastic, where the audience is like, why would they do that? Like, why would they make that choice? That bold choice now? Like, he doesn't do those things. So I think you have to find little ways to, I don't know. It's just like the same thing is in life. You have to kind of challenge yourself a little bit to raise the bar for yourself, or you'll just get bored. So you just got to find little ways without pushing it so it's almost forced. But that's what keeps, I think, an actor intriguing to people. Is just, and then there's the little things. You know what I mean? You don't always have to be speaking to be good.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, listening is like most of it. So it's just those moments. But just finding a way to keep the character interesting, how he was interesting before. You got to find ways to keep that character interesting, but not be boring by keeping it exactly the same, because no one's exactly the same every single second of their life. You know what I mean? Yeah. Some people have weird days and they're just a little bit weird, but it might be interesting. Yes. So, what am I? Baby, shh, daddy's doing it. Moochie, I know, baby. So yeah, I think just, I don't know. It's the same way as, like, I mean, if people are aware of themselves, they don't want to always be so like whatever. They want to try something new without being Moochie. I'm so sorry, baby. Go. Go. Okay, so sorry.
It's okay.
So yeah, but then again, sometimes you're a little bit I don't know. You know, when you're on, it depends on what you're on. If you're doing a film, it's a little different. You get to try different things. On a show, you're kind of locked into a particular, especially the soap world. You're kind of locked into a particular understanding of who that character is, and playing that character for, you know, some people have been on for 25 years, 30 years, that same character. But there's particular things of why people watch them, because there's something interesting about them from the get-go. So you just have to figure out, and, you know, actors get better as they go on. As you get older, you just start to realize certain things, and you don't worry so much about, like, if you look stupid for a second. You still do. Your actors are very insecure, but, like, you won't judge it as much.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And I do. So, like, even like you said, with someone being there for like 30 years, of course, people need to know it's the same character, but they'll also grow, you know, so they'll also
100%.
change.
Oh, yeah, 100%. As you change, the character kind of changes too. And no one's the same. You know, when you're in your 20s to your 30s to your 40s, there's a lot of change that happens there. There's probably the core of you that's similar to what it was, but the thought process is different. Your temperament gets different. So
you look, the visual and everything.
Changes, so you kind of have to kind of mold with that. I mean, I've never been on a show for 30 years. I don't know, but I've been on them, you know, for 4 or 5 seasons, 6 seasons, and I've seen like what the, you know, how to keep yourself relevant is kind of just making yourself interesting. But you don't have to make yourself interesting. You either are interesting or you're not. I mean, you can adapt that by performing an interesting thing, but people can kind of see through that stuff. You either have a quality about you or you don't. And that's kind of what this all really is. It's like, you know, for the fans, they're interested in what that character is, but I think they're interested for a particular reason. So I don't know.
I agree.
Yeah.
No, that's fine. All right. Do you feel more creatively challenged by realism or heightened drama?
Realism, for sure. But I think so when you're asking heightened drama, you're talking about verticals?
Oh, anything that's really dramatic.
Mean, you don't really get heightened drama more than verticals.
Yes,
Like
this is
there
true.
is heightened drama unless you're playing like a parody on a scenario and filming it.
Mm,
You're not gonna get anything close to that. I mean, I think that's the most intriguing thing to the people that love verticals
mm,
is it takes them away from like the actual reality of life a bit.
mm,
Soap, because daytime soaps and stuff like that still keep you kind of in the present time of it's melodramatic, but it's still the tone of like what your life could possibly be like.
yeah.
These things are like next level, you know, it's a challenge doing them because you again you have to like know what you're doing here because it's
Mm,
tricky. You know what I mean? Because it's absolutely ridiculous, half of it.
yeah.
Um, and the thing is this people do act insane in real life. People do get really obnoxious and loud, and these scenarios do happen. But when you watch it
Mm,
in a format like this and you're watching it the pacing, you know what I mean? And to hit the paywall to make sure that everybody it's just like everyone is so focused, hyper focused on this perspective of getting the
mm,
beats. There's like it's literally like a talent to do this, and it blows my mind. And I when I first did the first one, I was just like, what is this? I was in shock because I was like, I'm not doing this ever again. And then it just became sort of I didn't do them for a while, and I was losing a lot of situations. The business got weird. I came off Law and Order, and I was just like, where's everything going? And then my friends were
mm,
kind of doing them that I worked with in TV for a long time. So then I realized how to go into it and actually have fun with it. And once I could have fun with it, then I can create these characters that I've gotten to play now. And then I wouldn't be so bad at upset with it. But it
yeah.
took me a minute to agree with this. I was just like, I didn't work this hard to go shoot this thing on a phone. Like, what is happening?
Yeah.
But it's exploded. It's just there's no way around it.
Mm.
So
It's
yeah, no,
becoming bigger, definitely.
yeah, another wild. It's a wild
Yeah.
adventure. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It'd be interesting to see where they go over the next few years.
yeah. Well, I mean, bigger stars have stepped into it now, so uh, you know, I have a super cool project I can't say yet. Something that
Hmm.
I created.
Hmm.
Um, I don't want to speak too soon, but we were told that we're gonna go.
Oh,
So
cool.
I will put it out there soon. I've kind of sort of teased it a bit on my Instagram, but
Hmm.
I haven't quite said exactly it's 100% happening, but
Hmm.
it's pretty close to 100%. So we're very close. But I'm very excited. If this does go, it's like one of those things like, whoa, it really did? Because it started out as a
Hmm.
joke. It started out as a joke. And
Okay.
and then all of a sudden, like, let's do it. And I'm like, what? So
Yeah.
I'll put it out there soon. But I'm
Yeah. I'm
excited about it.
excited to see it.
Yeah, yeah. Oh,
Excited.
it'll be
Yeah.
interesting.
That's cool. Cool. All right. How does producing change the way you approach a role?
Producing?
Mm.
Well, well, it's a little more hectic if you're producing and starring in something. Like I did that for my movie Starfucker, which is about Hollywood. If you haven't had a chance to see it, you should see it. It's pretty wild. Speaking of risk taking and satire, it's out there. It's a dark comedy on Hollywood, and we took it to the nth degree.
Okay.
Weird timing a bit when it came out, but we had some big offers with it. But lots of egos involved, and whatever. It got out. People liked it. It was interesting. Um, but producing that was actually absolutely the most nerve-wracking situation ever because you're starring something and then you're basically helping produce it, but it's your face they're using. But at the end of the day, you want the best for it because this is also your lifeline of a situation that can change things for you. And it was a huge risk taker with the content itself. Now, right
Mm.
now, it wouldn't be such a big risk taker, but when it came out, like 4 years ago, um, we had started that thing from 2017, shelved because of Me Too, and then reinvented it, raised the stakes, put more money into it, reshot a lot of stuff, and put it out. And you don't know putting that kind of stuff out during a very touchy time. What Hollywood doesn't like when you make fun of Hollywood. So we had to do it in a way of like being serious, but also satire to make fun of ourselves with it so they can laugh at
Mm.
themselves. Because yeah, we
Okay.
mentioned a lot of things in there that are just like right on the nose of exactly
Mhm.
what we're trying to say. So
Okay.
very hectic. Producing is it's a very stressful job. I'm not gonna lie. You know what I mean? If you're like,
Yeah.
it depends on so many different types of producers, but like if it's you're part of the project and you're producing it and you want
Mm.
everything to go perfect, you can, as perfect as you can. Yeah, you're not going to sleep for like a long time. You have to sit through
Yeah.
editing every single thing, make all the deals, get the money. There's so much stuff, and then perform, and then hope people like it, and then make the money
Hmm.
back, which is
Yeah.
almost impossible.
Oh yeah. There's a lot of
Yeah,
expectations.
yeah,
So
yeah, a lot. Yeah, so it's tough. It's tough, but people do it all the time, and I do it. So it's yeah. I
I guess
prefer.
the more you do it, the better it gets. The more you
I'm not gonna
learn.
lie. I prefer to kind of just be the talent side. I mean, producing. If I could help out, I will. Obviously, people get more into producing because of the money factor of that fact, but people don't realize to get that money back most of the time, not so simple. It's not.
Yeah.
It doesn't work that way, and you're not going to see that for a while unless your deal says that, and it still takes time. So
Mm.
it's stressful, but I mean, people are making their own stuff happen these days. But hopefully, independent film will get a resurgence. We know that it's dead in the water right now.
Yeah.
It is.
I want
So
to come back. Yeah.
yeah, we all do. You know what I mean? This is fun
Yeah.
for right now, but I just don't know where this goes.
Yeah. I mean, I see it growing and growing and
Oh, it's gonna
it's
go. It's
just
gonna have go. It's gonna be its own entity. I don't think it's gonna replace anything. I think
yeah.
it's just gonna keep expanding. The problem is for guys that if you didn't hop on the train like right now
Mm.
with the vertical space, it's gonna be really difficult. It's just gonna be like if you were going in for a primetime TV. I mean, they're very picky,
Hmm.
extremely picky. The clients are very in the productions are. It's not. It's not like people just don't hop into the like for the lead roles. It's very very tough. Like it's
Yeah.
not like you just go in and you think, oh, I can just do it. Like
Yeah.
they're picky and they take it
They
down
are.
to the wire. They can't even make their minds up sometimes to like the same day. So
Mm.
it's wild. But I think it's
Yeah.
gonna expand. So we'll see where Hollywood takes it. I think is what's gonna happen because they want a piece and they're falling
Yeah.
apart. So they have no choice.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
They're reaching. They're reaching. So
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Okay. How do you adapt your performance depending on the scale of the production?
Oh, no, I don't judge it by the scale of it.
Hmm.
It could be a low budget $10,000 project or a $2 million project, and I give everything because I know at the end of the day it's still me doing it. It's
Hmm.
still my work. So whether or not if I went and go ahead and just like phone it in a little bit, like it's still gonna be out there somehow.
Hmm.
And like I'm very like I'm a perfectionist, but to a certain degree, like I really only want to do the best I possibly can.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't I wouldn't lack their of performance. I would literally give the same performance I would if it was $100 million film. I'm
I
not
love
gonna
that
like,
answer.
yeah, yeah, no, I don't do that because that's just it follows you. You have to be careful when you do that, and people do it. I mean, after many years, some people do it. I just
Mm.
like this is like one thing I did stay consistent with throughout my career, so I might as well just give it all I got while I'm still doing it.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna like look like a person who just gave up while I'm doing it
Hmm.
because that's you can
Yeah.
see it when people do it,
Yeah.
and I've worked with bigger actors throughout my career, and there's been moments where you're like, oh shit, like they just don't want to be here anymore. And I get it.
Mm.
I do get it. They still put in the effort. You can see it because they're movie where you said at one point being a movie star. So it's like you still have that like want to prove something.
Hmm.
I
Yeah.
think everyone wants to want to prove that they're great,
Hmm.
and some people just really just stop caring. They just do it for a
Yeah.
paycheck. So
Yeah.
so far, no, I would do the same thing for if someone asked me to do something for a lower budget to a bigger budget because I still don't want to not give my best. That's not who
Yeah.
I am. Yeah.
And as you said, it's out there. So if somebody finds that and
Oh,
sees it,
these
it could,
days there's nothing you could do.
yeah.
There's nothing you could write. There's nothing you could say. You can say it's something in your own house. I swear to God, it somehow go like enter the internet. I don't even know how, but the phone knows what you're
Hmm.
talking about. So
Yeah.
yeah, you have to be careful. Yeah, you can't just go and be an absolute idiot and then like it's fine. Who cares? No, that's
Yeah.
not even 10 years ago. You can't now. Every single thing is right there.
Hmm. And I
So
hate that it's like that. I really
oh,
hate
I
that it's
know.
like
Well,
that now.
there's no
Yeah.
privacy at all. You have zero.
Mm.
You're not your own self situation anymore. Really, it's just
Yeah.
like the minute you talk to anyone, you're like, I don't know.
No.
Yeah.
That's
So it's
that's a big reason why I stay away from anything personal in my
yeah. Oh,
interviews.
I
So,
understand. Yeah.
yep.
Yeah.
This-
I understand.
You guys deserve that privacy and I want you to have it. So,
Oh,
yeah.
appreciate that. Yeah.
Okay. Um, What's one production skill you think every actor should have?
Listening,
Hmm.
listening.
Big one.
I would
Yeah.
say listening is the number one key as an actor. That's the first thing I think you should ever like. If you have a hard time listening, I mean, my wife would say that I have a hard time listening. She'll say that I have a hard
Mm.
time listening. But in this particular field, I do listen really well. Taking direction and listening. I think the performance part of it will come with that. If you focus too much on just your performance, it's going to take you away from listening because you now have prejudged how you think you should do it.
Yeah.
And sometimes things change right on the spot, or they'll completely change a scene, and you have 2 seconds to look at that, and
Yeah.
you're like trying to figure it out. So I think listening, that's one thing I would say every actor should listen more and about what's happening and what the director or producer is asking of you, or whatever it may be, the writer or whoever wants to tell you, hey, listen, let's try this and that. If you're super focused on like how you prepared it or like my way's the best way, um,
Mm.
I think it just hurts you. I think every actor really needs to
Yeah.
listen. They don't want to listen to anybody else in their life. That's fine. But if you're on set or learning this, the art of it is listening.
Yeah.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, because you don't know how the person's going to react in a scene. If you might say
Mm.
it, they might practice a certain way. You deliver it completely different. It's going to make them react different, which makes
Yes.
for the best scenes. They don't know it's coming. So it's
Hmm.
real authentic responses. So I think acting part of it's secondary to the listening part.
Mm.
You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
then allow yourself to perform with whatever the scene takes you. But I think listening is what a lot of, even at one point when I was younger, I didn't listen as much. I was more like focused on like my lines and getting it out and then trying to say it the best I can so I looked good. But if you're not focused in the scene, you don't have no idea what the intentions are.
Mm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I don't know. Yeah, I'd say listening is probably the one thing is the most important.
Yeah, I mean, I know it's important to listen to the director, obviously, as the way that it's going, but listening to your scene partner delivering their lines is one of the most
Oh,
important
that's the
things.
well. The listening to the scene part, deliver the lines is most important. But I think
Mm.
usually with the director, depends on some directors are very strong actors directors that know how to speak to actors. There's a certain way to talk to actors. The majority of actors, some people are a little different, but there's a way to like make an actor feel comfortable um, in between scenes or just beforehand, or if you're too abrasive with an actor and make them feel like nothing they do is going to be right because I'm the director, blah blah. I mean, you're setting yourself up to make your job harder as a director. You know
Yeah,
what I mean? Like you take the best actor in the world, and if you make them feel like small, they're gonna like really become a shell. You know what I mean? It doesn't matter how good of an actor you are. You're only a great actor when you're free. So if someone's
yeah,
making you feel like shit, you can get past it. You'll get past it and
mm,
try to out and do better just to prove them wrong. But like you can get in your head.
yeah,
So like, no, you need to listen to the person that's speaking to you in the scene because that will take you wherever you should go. And sometimes even when the director says, "Hey, try this, and this," and the scene partner gives you something else, and you take it some other way, the director's like, "I didn't even see it that way. Oh my god, that was amazing." So
yeah,
yeah, so I agree with you. The scene partner won, and then yeah, whoever else has got involvement to give you advice, take it. Be careful who you're listening to sometimes, but
yes,
yeah. Some things can, yeah. Sometimes you have to go with your own gut.
yeah,
There's just a
yeah,
lot
yeah,
of things that go into this that a lot of like new actors don't realize. They think they just go to set and say lines and act upset or act mad or act like a romantic. No, it's not even close to what you need to be thinking about. But
mm,
it's a learning experience. I'll tell you that for these people,
yeah,
it gets a lot. Yeah.
exactly. That's right. Yeah, okay. What's been your most memorable shoot or set experience so far?
Um, I would say my most memorable shoot is when I did a movie called American Cowslip in 2007 or eight, and I worked opposite to Val Kilmer. And the supporting cast was crazy. A lot of them have passed away now, but
Mm.
Rip Torn, it was Diane Ladd, Bruce Stern, Lynn Shay from Insidious, Cloris Leachman, Peter Falk's last film, Columbo. He passed away like that shortly after that. A lot of that cast has passed
Mm.
away now. It was a crazy dark comedy, and I initially I got in the role because my manager at the time, oddly enough, was Val Kilmer's life coach and friend, and they had I guess his number and publicist. was a long time ago. And they approached my manager saying, we want Val for this dark comedy movie. You know, how much would he be? He lists you as the contact. Because Val was a very interesting human being. But so he had, okay, I'll get it to Val. There'll be this much money for 5 days. But you need to put my client in your movie too. So that's kind of how it happened. And I had to meet the director for coffee, and I was modeling at the time, but also acting, but just starting out. And I was like 26 or 27, and he was like, I mean, he's like, yeah, he's a nice looking guy and stuff, but like, can he act? He's like talking about me like I'm not there. And I'm looking at him, and I'm like, he's like, yeah, because I mean, if I'm gonna put him in a movie with Val, like, I'll write him a line. And he goes, is he, you know, and then all of a sudden I spoke up and said like some stuff to him, and was like I countered back. And he's like, oh, he's got a personality. It was like one of those weird situations. Anyways, he's become one of my best friends for 18 years now, the director. And that's I did Starfucker many movies with, who directed it. But at that given point, so he ended up writing my one line into like 50 lines. And I ended up being in the last 40 minutes of the film, and played basically the deputy to the sheriff of Val Kilmer in this crazy, dark, twisted, drug-induced comedy. And I got to spend time with Val. Actually, he invited us down to his ranch. I got to ride his horses and play ping pong with him years and years ago. After we shot and stuff. So it was very interesting. And after I wrapped on set, he came up to me and told me I did a great job and gave me a hug. It was a very unique experience. And he's one of the actors, you know, I always looked up to as a kid, not knowing I want to be an actor, but, you know, Iceman and all that stuff. Like, I was just a big Val Kilmer fan. He's sickly talented. And he just had that thing. So I was like, whoa, Val Kilmer's giving me a hug in his underwear too, because he was in his underwear. No, it was really interesting. So I'm like, I'll take it.
Yeah.
And so I would say that's my most memorable experience. I mean, I've had a lot of them, not being hugged in underwear, but like, you know, but Val Kilmer, I think, takes the cake when it comes to like, you know, an icon, and being able to work beside him and him like compliment you and invite you to his house to ride horses. It was pretty interesting.
Yeah.
So
like
that
a
was
surreal moment.
Yeah, no, it was very, very interesting. It was a very interesting moment. So it's one of those things that you would never forget. And it's funny because when I went down there, I used to be close with Alan Richardson, who's Reacher. So he was with me. He was with me, and a couple of my friends were with me. So we were all at Val's Ranch. And this was like 2007. Yeah, so it's like one of those moments you don't forget. So I would say that that's the most memorable. But I've had some interesting encounters.
Yeah.
I would tell you that for sure.
Yeah. I'm sure you have. Yes.
You know, I have. Yeah.
Oh, I love that though. They're good memories. Like even if you can't be part of that project anymore, or that project's finished or anything, you can take away those memories and have them forever.
Oh yeah, and it's like yesterday when you have something very, you know, something that pivotal that happened to you, especially when you're younger a little bit and you're kind of just getting started, and those kind of things happen. It kind of sets the tone to know if you're capable of doing this really, because if you can stand beside a huge movie star. Even though if he was on the downhill of being a movie star, but like the fact that he's doing lines with you in a scene, and this is going to be seen by people, and then he says, great job, then you know that, I mean, I basically was like, okay, I was 27 years old. I stood next to like a couple Academy Award winners and like icons in history, some of the oldest ones of history of our time, and I did it. And people were laughing in the theater when my scenes were up. Like, it's one of those things like, oh, I can stand next to them and battle back and forth with them and get respected for it. So that's kind of what gave me the know I could. Like, I knew I could, but until you do it, then you know you can. Yeah. And then you're just interested to see where you can go with it.
Yeah. But, massive confidence boost.
Yeah, oh, for sure. No, I always think Mark is the director, Mark David, that day for making me lash out on him saying, oh, he's just a model, isn't he? And I was just like, motherfucker.
Yeah.
So no. He's one of my closest friends in my life, and we made a lot of movies together. And
that's good.
Yeah.
Sometimes people just think, I know he's your friend now, but in that situation, obviously he felt like he was better than you, and that you weren't there. But yeah, I'm glad that you were able to find that, to stand up to him, to show him, yes, I can do this.
Oh, I mean, what's this part of my personality anyway, too? I mean, I've always been very, I won't sit back too long before I will speak a little piece, or like, if I have a point, I'm going to give it. But I'm pretty confident in like what I built myself through or put myself through to get to this point. But we're all, most everybody in life is insecure to a certain degree. But the more times you've been pushed down to get back up, and you realize that you've gotten back up every single time, so then you realize that you can get back up again. So then you know you can do it. The judging will be a little less on yourself as time goes on. So you know what you can do. When you know you stood next to somebody and did it, not competing with them, but you know you can, then you know that you earned the place to be able to do the next time. So you know you can do it. But it's very scary. I'm not going to lie. It's a very scary process. I've had my moments. Trust me. Yeah.
I'm not too great at standing up for myself, but I'm always there to stand up for other people.
Well, that's amazing that you do that, but you should stand up for yourself if you ever have to.
I'll try. I'm getting better.
We'll stand up for you. We'll stand up for you.
Thank you. Okay. Do you ever play a scene based on what the character is trying to hide rather than what they're saying?
Oh, trying to hide what they're saying. Yeah. If I understand it correctly, because I don't know why I'm not getting this. I'm like, I don't know if I'm just tired. Like I'm trying to hide what I'm supposed to be saying.
Yeah, so like say that you're saying something to somebody in like a scene or whatever.
Right,
but you've got those, like say for instance, like you're telling someone that you don't love them, but deep down you do, and you're trying to hide that.
I see what you're saying. Oh, okay. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Many times.
Yeah.
Most of the characters I play, I feel like most of the characters I play are always hiding something. 100%. Especially in the vertical world, I'm hiding that I'm rich or I'm this. I'm like either a gardener who becomes this, or I haven't been. The last one I did, the contract marriage, the Skinhunger one, very interesting character to play. The whole process was very unique, actually, and I'm actually getting ready to work with her again on my next one. That's basically what's happening. But and it's another mafia role. It's like 5 in a row now. But that one I was pretty straightforward character-wise with what my intentions were. You know what I mean? I was very blatant about what clearly off the top. Like I didn't like. You saw it, or you saw it. Yeah. No, I know you did. I just remembered. So he literally off the top really was straightforward. So this is one of the only characters I think that was straightforward. Like I have this disease. You need to marry me. All these things like. I'm not going to hurt you. Like he's so caring about this girl. Do you know what I mean? Like saved her, like everything, like in the beginning. So that was like the pretty much straightforward character. Everybody else is kind of hidden their, billionaire or the ridiculous storylines. I think the general, when I played Russian general, he was still hiding something. The hell was he hiding? I forgot what he was hiding. He was hiding something because she was really upset with him. And I can't remember what he was hiding. Hold on a second. What was he hiding?
I've seen so many, I forget these sometimes.
I forget, like you could get mixed up a little bit. Hold on. She was mad at him. Well, he was more upset because he wanted her to stay, and she was like, "Oh, the age gap," and then like her son was, or her ex was my son, estranged son. Oh, it's because my ex-wife had drugged me and made it look like. Now I remember, and she thought everything my ex-wife told her was true about that. All the intimate things that I would do with her that I learned it from her, my ex, and she goes, he learned everything from me, and he doesn't love you. He just does this with every girl. That's what I remember. So there was like not hiding, but there was manipulation that I had to overcome. But yeah, no, I've played many characters where I'm hiding stuff. Yeah, I played some pretty severe characters in like some series and movies, so they're always hiding something. But I think they're always trying to prove that they do care. I do play that a lot. Or at least I think I care. Like they're kind of assholes, where they are assholes, but they feel like they're losing out, so they want you back. But I've had to play the bad ex-husband a few times that were pretty abusive. I'm a little tired of the abuse part. I think that needs to stop. Yeah. It's getting a little bit. So the last couple ones there was no abuse with any of that. I mean, there was killing people because they were hurting the girl or whatever else, but abusing. One I did was with Girls Help Girls Divorce or Die, some weird title like that I did, where I played the ex-husband who's very abusive to the girl and very abusive, horrible first scene, like doing awful things to this person. And I'm thinking to myself, you guys really want to shoot this? Like, and like the abuse crusher comes in and like saves the day, and the girl beats up everybody and beats her own husband and beats, like, it's just the whole thing about beating up the man. And I get that because they're can be awful, but it was just all about hurting people and like getting back at them. And I just think we need to get away from like the over sexualized um, pornographic shit that they're doing
Yeah.
and the abuse on anyone really, but on especially on the women. I feel like it's extremely degrading.
Yes.
Um, and filming it, you're like, you do feel weird. I'm not gonna lie, because you're like,
Hmm.
it's not real, but like, and people sometimes get off on that shit, and it's like,
Mm.
and those ones do really well, and you're thinking to yourself, like, who's watching this stuff that like
Hmm.
are really into this? Like, who wants to see a woman get beat to death?
Yeah. Yeah. And
I mean,
like,
it's a little weird to me.
even though like like with shooting it, your body, like that woman's body, doesn't understand that you're faking it. She's still going
Oh,
through
of course
that.
not. No, and it's really weird doing it. Like every time I ever like do a scene like that, I'm like, are you okay? Are you so? I'm sorry. I'm sorry. And we're laughing
Mm.
about it because we know we're fine. We're joking before and doing it after. I think if you
Yeah.
keep, that's the only way to get through it. You have to laugh through it between
Yeah.
takes because it gets too weird.
Hmm.
And like if you get like really get off on it, like get a high on like, oh yeah, uh,
Mm.
no, it's
And
a
I
little.
understand it.
It can mess with somebody's head. It's not good. No.
No, I mean, I understand that like there's action, right? That's a
Right.
genre. Everybody
Of
loves
course.
action. I love action. But not unless it helps the storyline. If it's just unnecessary, there's no reason for it. Don't plop a character in going, okay, your job is just to abuse a woman or abuse a man, because it can go both ways.
Of
So,
course. Oh, of
I
course. Yeah.
mean, the representation in some way proves that not only women go through this, so it shows that, both ways it can happen,
Of course it does.
but
Yeah.
it's unnecessary, especially if you're going that far, you
Well,
know.
yeah. Well, I think it's also. I would hope to think that we've come to a certain point in life where at times you think we have it and you look at what's going on right now and like it's kind of just retracted right back. It's like a full circle of all ridiculousness and
Yeah.
hate and evil and demonic sort of perspective. And
Mm.
like, we go through phases of like, kind of pulling together and everyone kind of like rising up a bit to get better as a whole society. And like everybody starts to go frantic again. And then
Mm-hmm.
racism starts again. And like we were all just fine the
Mm.
past like 10 years before. And then all of a sudden we're back to where we were.
Yeah.
Riots, things burning down, the abuse starts again, then the content. Like you would never have been
Yeah.
able to make, even with the verticals, how they've sexualized it so much.
Mm-hmm.
Uh it's gotten to a point where it's like, come on, man, if it's tastefully done, we can collaborate and figure this out. I get it. But even in watching any shows like on Netflix and some of these shows, man, they're more aggressive than 50 Shades. And they're all just
Mm-hmm.
doing it now. I mean,
Yeah.
you're doing 20 sex scenes during a movie or a
Mm.
series every time, and they're like really getting into it. Verticals only stops at a certain point, but they still show to a certain degree where it's enough for an imagination,
Mm.
where it's almost you're this is on the is out there. You know what I mean? Like you have to be very careful. Yeah, I'm very cautious with certain things that I'm like, okay, just visually, like I never will allow to go anywhere past that. I'm married. We have respect for each other. So there's just a certain line that I will
Yeah.
not cross. But I've been put in a situation with a certain company, I won't say, they
Yeah.
didn't tell me a whole enough. And then I pulled out 2 days before. And a
Mm.
particular person who's in a lot of these took over my role. I was originally cast. Um, and I watched it and I'm just like, they didn't tell me the truth because they wouldn't give me a script at first. I was cast for
Mm.
4 weeks knowing this, and they told me there was just 4 like valid scenes that they were really worried about if I was good with. And we talked it through and we agreed. And then after I met all of them in person, then I had my intimacy coordinator Zoom 2 days before we started. And then she told me, did I read the script? I said, they just sent it to me. And she's like, all right, so what do you think? I'm like, well, I only got through the first 20 pages, but I get it. I mean, I've done a bunch of these. She goes, oh, okay, so this is a little different. I'm like, well, yeah, they told me the 4 points. And she goes, 4? She was
Mm-hmm.
like, no, there's 57. I go, 57 what? Points. And by like the next 2 minutes, she was asking me how many thrusts I would do. And I go,
Wow.
oh yeah, my
Okay.
wife overheard this. She thought I lied to her, that I made up this, like I'm just trying to say that it's not that bad and it really is that bad. I didn't know. So I like,
Mm.
I
Look,
pulled out and said, you guys, I'm sorry.
I
That is
always say
wrong.
that it is so important to get the full script first, and it's not because of the lines. They're important, but you need to make sure that you're signing up for something that you're going to agree with, which is why
Yeah,
I do not like when they do not do that.
it is what it is. but I had to stand up for myself, and I wasn't gonna make my wife any more upset. I mean, there's no way I wouldn't have even been happy if the story didn't even present itself to where you have all these scenes like that. There was no story.
Mm.
There was no story left. It's like, I get it, but the general one I did had a full on story to it. Like, they fell in
Mm-hmm.
love. It was this like cute story. Whether there's a couple scenes like that, and we compromised to it. They wanted to do certain things with it. We said no. I told them before I got there. The girl's very young, and I was just like, and all of the girls I work with are very young, so they're like much younger than me. So I'm like, could be their dad. So I'm like, listen, the situation is this. We'll agree to certain things. If she's comfortable, uncomfortable, we'll do this. But other than that, like, she's 20, like somewhere 20.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like, you feel like they're completely violating. It's like not. It's very interesting to be put in that situation. So I would say 9 times out of 10 they always compromise. I say, listen, you either want it great or you want it to be a piece of shit. Okay, so we're not making porn here. So I understand your viewers, but the viewers also gonna have respect for you if you actually keep it a little classier. I promise you. You know what I mean? Yeah, you want the views, but you also want reviews and want people to respect it, so they keep coming back. Just because they do show like BDSM and all this stuff and people choking each other out and do these weird things like that, that's cool for instant gratification for people mentally. But it isn't like, oh man, that was a great show, I can't wait to watch their next one.
Mm.
You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
I mean, I've heard that. I've spoken to somebody about this before, and like they look like they're not comfortable with the BDSM stuff on screen, but there is a part of, the wide range of people out there that do enjoy watching that. So as a business, they have to
100%.
adapt
Business
everyone.
model, I get it. I get the perspective, and I've been part of some of those things. We just keep it
Mm.
a little classier
Yeah.
to the degree. I'm just not that type of person in general. Like,
Yeah.
I don't need to be doing that. I didn't build my career to get to this point to do like. That's what people that maybe just start out, they want to do that stuff. That's on them. But I have a family and stuff. I just not something I need out on the internet. I can do the same. I can give the same quality of stuff, making it tasteful and have a good story with it. They can go find a 25-year-old guy for that. It's just not for me. I would feel
It goes
very
back to
weird.
choosing your projects wisely, like you said
Yeah,
before.
well, I'm trying to at this point. Yeah, no,
Yeah. Has your acting process changed since your first professional roles?
Oh yeah.
Mm.
Oh yeah. First professional roles. First role ever. Well, I did 2 horror films. They were pretty bad. I gotta lie. First, I was 24, maybe, when I did my first movie. It was, but it's so funny, that movie sold in every market. Back then, in 2004, I just aged myself. But in 2004, back then, like, B horror films there was a market for B horror films. And it was called Mustang Sally's Horror House and / Through the Horror, and it was horror. So it was Mustang Sally's Horror House, but it was Horror House, and it was ridiculous. It was 6 prostitutes. We went to go visit a brothel during the middle of the day as college students. Come to find out, our dads had done horrible things to their mothers, and this was a revenge. So it was a setup, but it was a setup by our main friend. He was like being blackmailed for something, so he used his friends for the reason of getting back, so he could get out of the mess he was in. And the girls just wanted revenge. So they had their daughters like trying to kill us. It was this whole thing. It's the most ridiculous movie ever. Really bad movie. So yeah, no, when you watch that and I had no idea what I was doing. I still didn't do bad though, but I didn't, like, if I looked at it now, I can't. And I talked with this like, sort of like, I tried to talk with this swagger voice. I kind of had like this little bit of like B-boy in him. He had like, because I kind of grew up playing basketball, I kind of had this certain way about me. But at that age, I didn't know how to like use it as an actor. So I kind of tried to like show he has swag. And it's just ridiculous when I watch it now. The process has changed. Well, I was not really concerned back then. I didn't judge it too much because I didn't know yet. And then as time went on, I started to realize, oh shit, I have to worry about everything. And then I don't know anything yet, but I think I do because I'm cocky. But like, I guess I'm just going to like pretend like I know everything. It'll get me there one day. And I think that is what I did. So I kind of just faked I was confident, but I didn't know what the confidence was coming from. It came from like, maybe just my personality. I had to like treat it like when I played basketball, I was very, good basketball player before I got into acting and got hurt. But I had to use the generalization of I was a very cocky basketball player. Like I was very good actually. And I had a Michael Jordan tattoo on my arm when I was 14. I mean, that's how obsessed I was with Michael Jordan and basketball. So to get Michael Jordan on your arm as a white boy, you have to be pretty fucking, excuse my language, pretty confident. So I had to translate that into acting. I had to understand like why I had no fear in basketball. I had to make myself create that no fear in acting. But it took years to do that because it's different. It comes out naturally with a sport, different than portraying and trying to deliver scenes and acting outside of yourself. That was me being myself. Now I have to portray something still with me as it, but give elements of myself in this character. If you don't know what you're doing, you can have the talent just hit and not know it yet. Yeah. So it could take some time. You have to trust yourself. So it took me years to realize how to kind of like intertwine that. Yeah. So I would say it's changed a lot. I mean, if you watch my early stuff, I mean, you'll see some stuff. Maybe there's similarities to how I am now, but yeah, I remember I was a lot more the fear of failure and thinking I have to be so good was different once in the middle part because now you're getting good. Now you have to keep getting better or allowing yourself to know you can be better, and you're so scared to not be good instead of just doing. And I think that takes time to get to that point. Yeah. Yeah.
You need to feel more free to be able to create a better performance.
Yeah, no, you have to be as free as possible as an actor. You can't, if anything's bothering you, or I hate to go into set, like if I'm in a bad mood or I've got to fight with someone, or it's really tough. Yeah. It's really tough to perform when your mind is somewhere else. Because then now you're sort of like secondarily thinking about it every single time. And if it's not, I have to be settled. Yeah. Completely settled. I can be mad about something. If I don't give a shit, I can be mad and be fine. But if something's bothering me and I want to like make up for it, that's what bothers me a lot. Yeah, I can't do that.
The stuff that weighs you down.
Yeah, I can't do that. No.
Yeah. Yeah, no. Okay. How do you find the emotional entry point into a scene when the script drops you right into a dramatic moment?
Well, you have to know the intention behind why it's dropping into a dramatic moment. So like, let's say for instance, we're having a normal conversation. Someone came into the room and just said someone just passed away. You know what I mean? Everyone's going to react different in life. Some people are going to laugh and go, okay, you're funny. Some people are going to be like, what? They're going to freak out and respond to it right away and maybe go into shock. So I don't know. Again, when you're filming, everything is blocked out. So you have to prepare for that moment. But then you have to take yourself out of that moment and act like it's fresh at that moment. So you kind of just go for it. Everyone always just goes for it and hopes for the best is really what happens. When they say action, you try to be as present as possible. And you'll know, sometimes you'll know like when you killed it. And there's times that you've killed it and you didn't know. They're like, I'm like, dude, I always check. I'm always talk with the directors. I'm like, yo, we got it? I'm like, no, I don't think we got it. He goes, no, we got it. I'm like, let me see. And then we were like, Erik, we got it. I'm like, and then I'm like, maybe we got it. He goes, dude, I'm telling you we got it. I'm like, but I think, and he goes, don't think, just go. And I'm like, okay. So like, there's times that you actually do get confused on your own self, even though you could be so in it. You will do things like, I don't know, like they'll just kind of like happen miraculously out of nowhere sometimes. You'll even hesitate sometimes in a scene going into something. You might forget a line. Let's just say you forgot a line, right? Someone's speaking to you. That moment that you forgot might actually save the scene to make it great because there's a thought process that happens in real life. When someone says something you don't know how to answer yet because you actually might have lost your word, you're like, wait a minute, and you go back into it like that. Trying to duplicate that again when you call action, we went just like that again, but we didn't get we didn't get the sound on it. You're like, fuck, what do you mean? So like trying to duplicate that exact reaction again is almost impossible. Yeah. So to jump into a dramatic moment, you just got to make it seem like it. You have to make the feeling of it has to be for the first time every time. So you have to hear like, oh my God, blah, 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 I just got hit by a car. The reaction. I mean, it can get so stagey where it's not good. and
Yeah.
especially with verticals, the way they shoot them and how they shoot them, and at the pace that we shoot them at, like you have to like listen. I would say most of the people, most of the people I've worked with were really actually opposite to me. Were actually very talented. I will say that I've been very
Mm-hmm.
lucky to work with the opposite. The girls have been very talented.
Mm-hmm.
They're all very very good for being so young. I think they're very good, but I give them everything I got to get that feedback back. You know, I mean, there's
Yeah.
moments where I'll see like these moments happening, and I know like in order to, we want the scene to be great for both of us, not just you know what I mean, because you lose an audience when there's the connection going.
Yeah. Yeah.
You lose an audience, and you guys know this genre so well, or this you know this space so well, and I've learned that very particular. You guys are very
Mm-hmm.
particular on these moments. Um, and there is a process to that. Like you have to
Yeah.
like know that. Because the
Yeah.
minute you guys are like, I don't think I believed it. If we hear that from you
Mm-hmm.
guys, oh, that's tough on us.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's tough. That's like the biggest for the leads. Very, very, it's nerve wracking because believe it or not, this audience, as great as that you guys are an amazing audience and the best fans I've ever seen because even in the daytime soap world, they stick to the, you know, whatever, but you guys are watching us play multiple different characters.
Yeah.
So you're wanting to feel that every time you see a different character from each one of us.
Mm.
And you want to talk about like, oh my God, blah, blah, blah. And we want you to say that because we want to talk about it.
Yeah.
So it's different playing the same character for 20 years. But if you're playing a different character in a different, like you do 5 mafias in a row, you have to give them their own life.
Mm-hmm.
They have to be slightly, you know, they cannot. So I'm going into another one right now. I'm like, oh boy. So I got, you know, I have to give it a different twist for the audience, especially if me and her are doing it again together. We just
Mm-hmm.
came off one. So now that's a mafia driven one. We can't be the same 2 characters. So it has to
No.
go into a different one. I won't have skin hunger and won't burn up inside, which is, you know,
Mm.
interesting. But yeah, no, it's I don't know. You have to be we're very cautious about that. And we see you guys
Mm.
instant like you guys respond fast. Like you guys see it and you're ready to go. And
Mm.
we want to give you guys back the same thing
Yeah.
because we're almost more terrified of responses from you guys than a bigger situation because we know what you guys are liking and what like makes you guys excited. And the return
Mm.
makes us excited. So
So the one thing that I'm very aware of, like I never judge because I know that you guys are always going in giving you 100%.
yeah,
It's a lot of the directors and the producers that and clients that want it over the top. So I've heard a lot of times, oh,
yeah,
they're too over the top, they're too over the top. And I'm like, no, they're not. They're being asked to do that.
yeah, yeah. It's
Um,
unfortunate. Yeah, we're
yeah.
always worried about that too because we know
Mm.
um, people that don't know the space as well
Mm.
don't know that because even for me going into this and seeing it performed, I'm saying, oh God, man, like I don't know if I would allow myself to do that kind of stuff. I mean,
Hmm.
I think I try to keep all my characters as grounded as possible.
Yeah.
I played some boisterous ones, but it called for it. So I just go
Mm.
for it all the way. So if you're gonna go for it, you cannot. There's no middle ground. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? If you're gonna play the character, you gotta live in that character, and people will accept it. But when
Mm.
you make certain choices and like go big here because they told you to go big, no, I fight with them all the time. I'm like, listen,
Yeah.
I get what you're saying. It's cool. I mean, I'll give you one. I can do one for me, and you one for you, and you guys figure out the edit, and we'll see where it lands. But
Yeah.
I'm not going to make this character not authentic. I'm sorry. Like, if he's gonna
Mm.
be ridiculous, he's gonna have these ridiculous moments as a character, not just because you guys say I wanted to go big, real big here. I'm like, no, 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 no,
No.
no. Like, you gotta understand. Like, people are stupid. They see what's
Mm.
happening. Like, as a whole, you think like, oh, they like when one character does this, and there's always a certain scream and blah blah blah. I'm like, now you're just like going on a generalization of what people might like. I'm like, no, they like good storytelling, and if it's going to
Hmm.
be satire and over the top, then go for it. But you have to make it still good. You have to like
Yeah.
be believable as satire.
Yeah.
You can't just
I
wing
agree.
it together. And they throw these supporting people in there that aren't actors, and it's unfortunate. Like if you put a whole cast together, like our last cast was pretty good, um, as a whole. There's like certain ones that are like as a whole they hire like the first top 6 or 8 that are strong. There's nothing better than that because you know, the side characters sometimes I'll just throw some people in there to like and they don't even speak like English, and
Yeah.
they're like shit. It just throws the momentum of the story off
Mm.
a bit. You know what I mean? Like And again, it's not their fault. They're almost just like doing background stuff, and they're like, hey, I'll do it.
Mm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like every character is important because it goes with the story, and you want to believe it to the next scene. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like it's so that's the only thing they kind of just throw people in there sometimes, and
Mm.
not the leads, but like when you get past like number 5 and 6, like it can get a little sketch, and you're like shit.
Yeah. You just got to try and find a way to make it work because, as you said, it's not their fault. They're
Oh
there
no, it's
doing a
not their fault.
job,
They're not.
and
No.
you just got to make it work. But I can see how it can be like hard to do sometimes.
Yeah, just for the best. The main part of the stories are there and everything else, and a lot of times you just fall in love with the journey of this love story or whatever. But we're very particular about like the directors there are certain directors that will ask people to go bigger, real big, real big. Um, they don't want to. So anyone who is saying that kind of stuff, I will vouch for them and say like, no. Sometimes they really are saying we need
Yeah.
this, 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 this. This punch needs a punch here, and like we're like, fuck, man.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So there's a give or take. I try to stay away from any of the ones that are too gimmicky. I have to be, if it's a weird storyline, it's fine. Just as long as there's some truth, like with the story they're telling together, then I'm cool with it. But like for me at my age and stuff and where I'm at as an actor, like I can't just be doing it. I get it. Everyone needs to make money, but like I can't just do some ridiculous stuff just to do it because they want to get numbers. Like that's gets to a point where I'm not. I mean, no one's really enjoying that because that's just,
Yeah. And they need to pick up on the fact that not everybody would like something like that. So they need to cast a person who's happy to do that. Otherwise, it's not going to feel believable.
100%. Yeah. No, you have to. Yeah. But again, they've got pick and pick your. Like it's very tough if you didn't get in a certain point in this and already had been like working in them for the last couple of years. Especially for the leads. I mean, it's competitive, extremely competitive. So I mean, moving forward, it's people are like, oh, I'm going to get into verticals. I'm like, I mean, listen, man, it's more complicated than you think. It actually doesn't just work the way you think it works. So you have to answer to a lot of people, and there's one particular person that has all to say on top of the other 10 clients. It's like, so it gets tricky starting out in this space. I will say that it's not typical. It's not typical.
No. So do you know one thing I really do love is the fact that even though it's competitive, you don't take that competitive out on each other afterwards.
No.
You guys are still like a massive family and you love each other and are friends. And so, even though you're fighting for the same roles, you're happy for the person that got it.
100%. I think also because a lot of the actors that have come into this that have a TV film background, we all kind of came in at the same time. So we kind of were just trying it out. We're like, oh, let's see what happens. So it becomes, and there's so many of them. You're doing like 20 mafia a week, a werewolf one. It's like, if you don't get this one, you probably might get this one. I mean, do you know what I mean? Like I don't know. There's not going to ever be a mafia one again. There's not going to ever be not a werewolf one. They, obviously, vampire ones, I think I've had a little difficulty. I don't know why. Like the Billionaire Gardener, like they're going to make another Billionaire Gardener at one point. I mean, I don't know when, but they're going to make it. And just spiced up, he's probably going to be a werewolf too. And then like an alien, and then come from space. There's going to be that one.
I want that one.
Now they're doing the pirate ones. The pirate, huh? What'd you say?
I want the sci-fi.
They're going there. They're obviously going there. They're going to go, I think, as far as they can go with this. And it's going to keep, opening doors. But I think there is a competitiveness with to land these things. You have to. There's a certain amount of cockiness that goes behind the lead actor at this point to keep this going. Like they're very picky, and they'll still try to make you audition for our next movie, but you just made them $500 million, and you're the face of it. But like, we need you to audition for this part. No, that's extremely offensive because you're like, why am I doing this? Like, are you not seeing the whole point is to go number one because you get a bonus. I know what they get. So I went number ones, but you want me to read for you and pay me less money? You're crazy. So. Yeah, you got to get to that point where you can feel comfortable and say, some of these guys will still audition. They've done way more than me. And I'm thinking to myself, are you out of your mind? You have to set a boundary and say, look, man, I'm worth this. I've given you this much of me. and this is the outcome. This is what your goal is. And now you're coming back at me acting like you never met me before.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
talking to me the day before, all in posting with me.
Mm.
I didn't
Odd.
say that
Very
that
odd.
particular thing. It didn't really happen that way, but it can get to that point because I talk with people. They're like, "Oh yeah, I did 10 auditions this week." I'm like, "You still audition? What are you talking about?" And they're like, "Oh, you don't?" I'm like, "I will for certain ones, like Skin Hunger. I did send a tape because he's a weird character, so I wanted to get a little feedback so we understood where we're at, and it just happened to work out. But like for most of them, no, not at this point. Why?
Mm-hmm.
I've proven what I can do. Like I've worked for almost every platform. You got to get to a point where you feel comfortable doing that. And I promise you, if they want you, they'll make it work. They'll come back to you. So they call you in the first place, and they're like, "Oh, by the way, can you do this?" And you're like, "By the way, can you offer to me?"
Mm-hmm.
And they'll come back and either they do or they don't, but most of the time they do. But these guys are spending hours and hours putting on tape. I'm like, guys, you're never going to advance and have people take you serious or respect you. You as an actor, yeah, but you have to believe in yourself enough to go, you know what, I deserve this now. I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm.
No one in
Yeah.
life would move forward if they never thought they meant something.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So yeah, no, I've gotten I had to put my foot down a little bit. But I have no problem zooming with them and talking with them. Chemistry reads fine. That's perfectly fine. I will. If you want to make your choice, then fine. But I'm not going to go and light up my kitchen, do this dramatic vertical scene I've done 1,000 times for everybody, the same scene, and for you guys to now judge me when the whole goal was to get a hit show, and we did it, but never mind, you forgot.
Yeah.
After you
The
made
key
your
thing
$1
is
million,
knowing your self-worth is
you do,
really
yeah.
important.
And every actor, anybody in entertainment needs to know that. Humbly know that. You have to, because I guess the most attractive thing for people is to know who they are to a certain degree, and people like to watch that. So as long as you respect people and you're humble, confidence takes you a long way to a certain degree. Else we wouldn't have anybody successful. But you can't.
So have confidence, but drop the ego.
Yeah, drop the ego. You can even be funny about it, but it comes to a certain point. Like, listen, I'm willing to compromise, but I'm not willing to I get it if it's the first like 10 or 5, but come on, man. Like, we're talking yesterday. Why are you now emailing me something like, yeah, I know, but I'm like, yeah, I know. We'll tell them this is how I feel, but God bless them, and let's make it work. If not, then I'll see you on the next one. And they're like,
yeah,
okay. And they'll come back like, all right, fine. They said, okay. And I'm like,
yeah,
what's the point of all this? Hours worth of ridiculousness.
yeah,
I don't know.
yeah. I get that. I get that. Looking back, is there a project that surprised you with how it shifted your perspective on acting or storytelling?
Um, no, yeah, I've been a couple characters. I played the character Bobby in the series Purgatory with actually a girl named Tatiana, who's an Australian girl. She lived in LA at the time. She's back in Australia now, but really talented actress actually. Shot 2 seasons in Armenia, and I played this. We were all stuck in a cave together. This New Year's Eve party. We were invited to this banquet thing, and then we all get lured to this underground cave, and we're all trapped there for revenge on what happened. Everyone's tied together in this particular murder that happened, and it's like who had done it, and try to survive and get out of here. And my character was an ex-con rapist murderer who happened to get out of jail, and each individual character had this dark side to them. But I had to play where I lower I end up, we all break off to try to figure out this out, but they don't know, everyone doesn't know the other person's personality yet, and who's the killer, who might not be the killer. And it was me who was the killer ultimately. So I lowered these 2 girls that I had them trust me. So one girl, we kind of fell for each other in there. And it was like this Stockholm syndrome thing that happened. And then brutal things that were happening that he just enjoyed, but also he had this weird, like, sensitive side to him. So like, it's not like kind of like a Ted Bundy sort of situation. That's how I researched Ted Bundy for this one. So that one kind of changed my perspective on playing a character to that degree and getting through that, and seeing the response from the audience, thinking like, oh man, people aren't gonna like me after this. Like, my mom watches this. I didn't raise you to be like this, and I was like, Mom, I'm performing. But like, people were upset when my character got killed in the end. Like, they were like, why would Bobby die? I can't believe Bobby's in. I'm thinking to myself, what? He deserved to die. So like, and it got me initially nominated for a daytime Emmy that ended up, there was political things that happened with that. Won't get into that. With another show that you had mentioned, so I won't say that. But that ended up winning an Indie Series Award for Best Actor for it. But it's weird going into that thinking like, wow, I took it to where I took it. I didn't think twice about it. I actually enjoyed doing that kind of like the role, but it made change my perspective on like the mind of a person, even playing a character and doing these awful, brutal acts and treating people this way, and then receiving an award for one, two, like a response for whoever had watched. It was on a smaller platform at the time, but it got this response, and then it got out there. Thinking to myself like, oh wow. But these characters had this like thing. They were obsessed with each other. And then it was a love-hate situation that happened all within like a 2-week period of time and stuck in a cave. But the awful things that I had to do, but then also try to save her and try to kill her. It was crazy. So it changed my perspective as an actor being put in those conditions. We were really in a cave, 6 stories down in a cave in Armenia that was man built. So we like lived in this cave for 14 hours a day in the dirt, being like people trying to break out of a cave. So it was weird to be put in those circumstances, and you had to take it as serious as possible to play the role, and then like come out, go home, like go back to your hotel at night, and like go do it again. But each episode gets even more and more brutal.
Yeah.
It was interesting, and people were like, "Do you not get stuck in that character?" I'm like, "No, I'm not gonna go fucking kill someone as soon as I leave here." But some people get a little bit weird.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't want
that one changed my perspective a bit. Because I took a risk with it. I took a risk with it of like the stakes of like how far I could take a human perspective with some taste. I kept it as tasteful as possible that you could. But it's brutal.
Yeah. That's a character you want to leave there and not take anywhere with you.
Like, yeah, no. It's just like, because it's just like the thought process behind it. It's like you have to actually you have to believe that this person can be both sides. He can be a caretaker and a murderer and try to save you at the exact same time. To have that perspective, a lot of us have it. It's being able to like control it, but in real life, that there are people like this. So when you get to live it, but then get to walk away from it, I don't think I really want to have those thoughts.
No.
You know what I mean? No.
Yeah.
Because it can get a bit weird.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. All right, I got a question from Krissy.
Okay.
If one of your characters could give you life advice, who would it be and what would they say?
Oh, wow. Well, she's watched a lot of my stuff, so character. I mean, again, I mentioned a few of them. I would think Bobby for sure. My character Jimmy Star and Starfucker, because a lot of that movie is really based on a lot of my life. There's some satire to it and some weird shit that did happen that was presented to me. It wasn't written for Erik Fellows, but like it ended up being a lot of my life throughout Hollywood, through my time. So I related to it. But the perspective of Jimmy Star, I wish like if he could give me advice on how he, the redemption of but the avenue he took and what he did in the end of making himself a better person. I think I would take advice from Jimmy Star, not initially, but I would take it in the end. Bobby for sure. The advice I would hope you say, just don't actually kill someone. Like actually, you know what I mean? We're going by character advice and not like they're not real people. I don't know. There's many characters I've played. I don't know. You know, a lot of them is still in my own head because they're characters I've created. So I don't know. I mean, it's still give myself advice. I don't know if you know what I mean. Like they're still me. Yeah. Just I guess in a different visual dimension of it. But those two characters, if they were real people, my character, oh my God, what was the character? The movie I did with Sybil Shepherd and James Brolin, Being Rose. Oh my God, what was my character? Will. Oh my God, I forgot. He was a heroin addict.
Oh.
And I don't. You obviously never seen it, but like there's a movie I did with Sybil Shepherd and James Brolin years back. I played her son, and he was a heroin addict, but like a successful engineer, but with a heroin addiction, and had like, dad issues. Dad died of cancer, but didn't want to see me because I was a drug addict. And my mom ends up getting cancer, and she ends up, so like, don't do drugs is one for sure.
Mhm.
And just like the suffering of like what he went through, that sort of thing, and never neglect, like, don't leave things like, I don't know, don't leave the weight of all that on his shoulders, because he like don't come see me, mom, this and that and the other, and she's dying of cancer, and I wouldn't let her into my life, and then when she died, he regretted it. So like those types of things. So if I was to take anything from these characters, it'd be like the bad part of them. Like, rethink that before you do it. I think, yeah, those are probably, most real characters that I played that I can relate to without the murders.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
And heroin, because I don't do heroin.
No,
But yeah,
well, I hope not.
yeah, no, I'm on heroin right now. Yeah, I'm so heroin. Yeah, it's great.
All right, cool. All right. Is there anything you want anyone to know about you or your work?
No, not really. I mean, just keep watching if you like what I do. I'm going to keep trying to, reinvent myself and playing, having different chances and different characters. So we'll see on the next one. I mean, I do know that you guys are watching, and I do know that I will do it the best I can not to ever leave you bored. Mm-hmm. So I will give the best I can with what we were given, because again, a lot of things are out of our control. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? The edits are out of our control. The music choices, those little tunes they put on, bloop, doo, with all these weird sounds. We have nothing to do with that, guys. Nothing. Yeah. So always know that prior to watching them, that's all added in for like the mind. It's like a beat. You know what I mean? It's all used for the algorithm. It's all used for the pacing of each minute and a half or 2 minutes of each episode. It's to keep your brain. It's like music beats. It's the same thing. So that's why they do it. Because even I didn't know that at first. So that's why they do it. Just know that we do the best we can and keep watching. I guess that's the best. And I'll try to make them interesting the best I can.
Cool. I've got 2 more questions. What's your funniest moment on set?
Funniest moment on set. Well, I would say, the most embarrassing moment. I have the most embarrassing moment, which turned out being very funny in the long run, is actually with my movie Starbucker with Mark. The director was like, again, he's my friend for years prior to this point, and we're making this obscene movie, and I'm like, she's already, nervous about it. And he's like, hey, I need you to come out like on set, like in a sock over it. And I'm completely naked. And it's a movie in the movie. So he's, booked the movie in the movie, and like he's a star. And so I'm like literally on set. It's 45 degrees outside in downtown Los Angeles in a warehouse, and I'm in a sock on it. And I'm like, I'm gonna kill you, Mark. He's like, dude, trust me, you're gonna laugh later. People are gonna freaking die. And I go, we're no longer friends. After that we wrap, I honestly never want to speak to you again. Like, it was, I was mad at him because bro, he's laughing at me. Everyone's like, it's like, Mark, it's a little ridiculous. And we're like, he goes, yeah, but it's a fucking dark comedy. It needs to be, I needed them to see how ridiculous this guy took it. It was the point. Now I look at it now, it's hilarious. It's ridiculous. Yeah. Like, it's a whole, I've had that moment, I remember I was really serious. I was like, Mark, I'm shooting. I'm like, Mark, I'm gonna fucking kill you. And I'm freezing. He was like, all right, drop the rope. I'm like, I'm gonna kill you, dude. And they're all just, your ass is right there. And just like 45 people staring at you, and you're like having to be funny, but then not take yourself serious, and you're freezing and your ass is out and you're literally in a sock. So like, I know I could never do porn, so that's good because I don't feel comfortable. Like, it's just weird. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, some people just don't care. But like that, it's just like, I was more like embarrassing as my ass was out. I don't know. Some of my ass, I was just like, when they're staring at your ass for a guy, it just seems, I don't know, there's something weird about it. There's something weird about it. But I watch a movie now. If I was to watch it now, I would laugh. It's funny. Yeah. Because I know how ridiculous it is, but it is funny. He was right. But so I would say that's the most embarrassing, funny moment. I've had some funny ones, but I mean, there's been multiple things. There's so many things that go wrong. There's so many things that go wrong. You know what I mean? Like, it's just, I don't even know. you block something out. There's times that you'll go and you completely fall over something, or you'll smash each other in the head. And there's times that you literally have the giggles, and then it just you can't even do it because right when you go to say it, everyone start laughing. It'll go on for 30 minutes, and nobody can get it back to that point until you're like, no, seriously, dude, stop. And then finally we get it because someone will get real mad, going, bro, we're gonna lose time. And then they're like, oh shit. But like, it can become a disaster. Like it's, there's some moments.
But they're good moments still. You can look back at them and go, I loved that moment,
Yes, exactly. So sometimes you do have to trust what a person's saying. You might seem ridiculous at that time. I've learned to give or take. But I will never forget that moment. Because I'm walking around, he's just laughing, dying to bro. He's like, bro, come on, let's go. Come on. I'm like, I'm going to kill you. I'm going to kill you. He's like, you've done every other stupid thing in this. What do you mean? I'm like, yeah, dude, but it's different. He's like, nope. He goes, bro, you'll thank me later. And it was very funny, and it's pretty ridiculous, actually.
So funny. Yeah. All right, last question. If you could go back and relive a single day of your career, which day would you pick?
Well, it's weird because you always think it's like when you get to a certain point or you work with particular people. So you're like, oh, I'll never forget this rest of my life. Or you work with a certain like big star that you even at one point there's been a few times I've been starstruck. It's weird because I've been in Hollywood a long time and I met most people and worked with a lot of different people. But like it would teeter between. I probably, if I had the moment to ever like work with be in front of Val Kilmer again, I think that moment in time, knowing like what I know now, that he died young, and this whole thing, they AI'd him in the movie, which is crazy. But I mean, it does look completely real, but it's sucks. They leave Val alone. But probably that moment. There's been a lot of people I worked with that I was a little shocked by. Was like I wasn't impressed with how they are. Not to me necessarily, but how they are to people.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
There's a few people that I've worked with over the years that I would be like, yeah, everything they say about them is kind of true, or they do this, or even if they were younger, then it's just there's some people that leave certain things with you. So I think if there was a one moment, but as an actor, I think there's a lot of times I wish I could go back as an actor and not take things as serious. If I could be a question for anything, if I could go back to any moments in my life, so it would be the most down I've ever been about a scenario going wrong, or messed up really bad. I wish I could reverse that feeling that made me ruin my entire week or 2 weeks or a month because I thought it was all ended.
Yeah.
Like those moments, if I could take those back and tell myself that it's going to be okay, that I wish I could do, because there was a lot of heartache and sadness that goes in between all of this, because you're thinking it's you sometimes and it's not always you, or it's not you 90% of the time. There's a lot of opinions. So I would take away the sadness part where you feel like life's over.
I wish we could all do that.
Of course, that's for anything. But I would say as an actor in this profession, for anyone who beats themselves up, or a musician, anyone in the arts, any type of arts, anything of the world really. But like these things that are instantaneous at that moment, you feel like you have a moment, and if it doesn't work, then it's over. And that part, you have to realize that it's not the truth. That's not the case. But you don't know that at that moment. You feel like it's all like it ruined everything. Like everything's white life is going to be horrible. I'm never going to be anything, because this is what actors and musicians and people do to themselves. And it's a very it's lonely to put yourself there. But that's life anywhere in the world. Just depends on what business you're in. But yeah, there's a lot of stress that goes with that. So I would take that away. You can't take it all away, but I would try to say, hey, it's going to be all right. Just chill. But I don't know if I would have listened.
No.
Because people tell you that and you don't listen. So
some of those can lead to growth moments.
Absolutely.
But I get what you're saying.
They were growth moments. There were growth moments. That's why I'm able to say this now, years later, going, oh my God, I remember when I literally was like, you couldn't talk to me for days because of a particular thing went wrong. And I'm just like, why am I, put myself down so much? Like, you're better than that. You're better than that. And you failed. And that's really the worst thing you can do to yourself, but it's a natural thing that humans do because we expect to be our best, and
Yeah.
sometimes things happen.
Yeah.
So
And sometimes
that's,
people put you in those moments, or like they do something that leads to you feeling that way, which could
but
then impact another important moment in your
oh,
life.
100%,
So,
100%,
mm,
100%. But
yeah.
again, that's life experience. You wouldn't, if you didn't have those moments, you wouldn't be able to live to tell them, and tell yourself you accomplished and you moved forward from that. So
Yeah.
we wouldn't have this conversation. So
Yep. I
that.
agree. I agree. Well, thank you so much for taking your time to have this interview with me today. I really appreciate
Yeah.
it.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And I love the question. So thank you so much. And
Thank you.
I guess we'll talk soon, and keep me posted
Yep.
whenever you can put it out, and I'll share it and stuff. So
Thank you very much. All right. Well, you have a
all
good
right. And
day, and I'll talk.
I hope everything gets better for you, and everything is positive.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank
All
you.
right.
I'll talk to you again soon.
I'll
Bye.
talk to you soon. Bye bye.